Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our VA Home Loan webinar. We're delighted to have you join us today as we explore the benefits and opportunities provided by the VA Home Loan program. Before we get started, I first want to introduce myself. My name is Craig Bailey, realtor with eXp Realty, with over 10 years of experience in the industry, both as an investor and as a real estate agent. I've also just concluded my 10 years in the United States Air Force as a reservist, and I found a passion for helping veterans and service members achieve their home ownership dreams. And I'm honored today to be your guide through this entire webinar. In this webinar and in this brief, we're going to talk about the VA home loan benefits and why you should use your benefits to the full extent. By the end of this webinar, our goal is to equip you with the knowledge and confidence to make informed decisions about VA home loans and other programs that you may have not heard of. So hopefully you're ready, just like I am, and we can get started. We're going to briefly touch on a couple of topics. And if there are specific or situational circumstances you need help or guidance with, then you can always call me and we can talk offline. So let's kick things off and start with some background on this military loan option. So VA Home Loans has a rich history dating back to 1944. So this program was established through the Servicemen's Readjustment Act, commonly known as the GI Bill of Rights, which aimed to provide benefits and support to returning World War II veterans. The VA Home Loan Program was created to help veterans achieve home ownership by guaranteeing loans made by private lenders. This guarantee reduced the risk for lenders, making it easier for veterans to obtain favorable loan terms, such as lower interest rate and no down payment requirements. What's great about this is that over the years, the VA Home Loan Program has evolved to meet the changing needs of veterans, which has expanded to include not only World War II veterans, but also those who served in subsequent conflicts and peacetime. The program has been updated to adapt to changes in the housing market, offering additional benefits and flexibility to veterans. To this day, VA Home Loans continue to be a valuable resource for eligible veterans, active duty service members, and certain surviving spouses. So VA Home Loan myths. So what are some myths out there? I just threw a couple of them here on the screen. So we got, you can only use the VA home loan once. Only first-time home buyers can use the VA loans. VA loans have high interest rates. VA loans have strict property requirements. VA loans can only be used for primary residences. And VA loans are difficult to qualify for. By the end of the seminar, you're going to realize that all of those are in fact false. So eligibility requirements. So let's get into it. So you're going to need a couple forms to get started. Here on the screen, you're going to see the DD-214 and then your COE, Certificate of Eligibility, that we're going to get to shortly. So the requirements for the VA home loans vary depending on whether the individual served during wartime or peacetime. Here's a breakdown of those requirements. 90 days wartime. So you see the dates that you need to have served in order to qualify for the VA home loan benefit. There's also 181 days of peacetime, again, posted with the dates that you need to have served during peacetime to be eligible. So as mentioned previously, the Certificate of Eligibility, or the COE. So to find the full entitlement amount for a VA home loan, you have to obtain your Certificate of Eligibility from the Department of Veteran Affairs. The COE provides detailed information about your entitlement, including the maximum loan amount. Here are a few ways to obtain your COE. So one, you can go online through eBenefits, right? Visit the VA's eBenefits portal. I'll have a link sent out to you. And then what you need to do is create an account if you haven't already done so. Once you logged in, navigate to the housing section where you can request your COE online. That's one way to do it. Option two, or another way of doing it, is through a VA approved lender. So many VA approved lenders have access to the VA's automated Certificate of Eligibility, ACE system. So what they can do is they can request your COE on your behalf, usually during the pre-qualification or maybe even the pre-approval process. And then three, which takes longer, is by mail. So you can also apply for your COE by mail. What you need to do is you need to download VA Form 26-1880, which is the request for a Certificate of Eligibility. You can find that form on the VA's website at va.gov. Fill it out, mail it to the appropriate VA Regional Loan Center. The address for your specific region can be found on the VA's website as well. So once all that fun stuff is done, when you receive your COE, it will indicate the full entitlement amount that you have available for your VA home loan. The entitlement amount is typically a percentage of the loan limit set by the VA. which can vary depending on factors such as the county where the property is located. Again, one of those myths, can you use the VA home loan more than one time? You most certainly can. And it's important, it's vital to consult with a VA approved lender to fully understand your entitlement amount and how it applies to your specific loan scenario. They can help you determine the maximum loan amount you can qualify for based on your entitlement and financial circumstances. If you need additional help, reach out to me. I've been doing this for quite a bit, so I can help you figure this out. For my reservists and my guardsmen, don't feel left out. So if you go on orders for 181 continuous days, then you are good and eligible for this program. So what that means, if you've joined the military as a reservist or a guardsman, you've never been active duty, what you need to do is you need to get on orders. Get on orders for 181 days. That's all you need to do. And also, if you're reserve or guardsman and you've been that your entire career, what you need 6 years of good standing. So you need to have went to all your ATs, all your military drills for 6 years. Once you've done that for 6 years, get yourself on some orders for 181 continuous days and you're good to go. What I also have here are some phone numbers you can jot down for further information. Okay, so financing, who can apply? So ultimately, the best approach depends on factors such as your financial situation when it comes to credit history and also your home ownership goals. It is advisable for veterans and their spouses or partners to consult with a VA approved lender who can assess their specific circumstances and provide personalized guidance on the most suitable approach for their home loan application. So posted on this slide, I have 3 different scenarios where we have a single veteran, then we have a veteran and a civilian spouse, and then we have a veteran and a veteran spouse. Feel free to pause this slide if you need to. So I don't know if you're aware, but yes, you can use the VA home loan as an investment tool. We're going to get into more of that later, but let's stop right here because I have to tell you, yes, the VA home loans require the property to be owner occupied. So what that means is, this means that the borrower must intend to use the property as their primary residence for 1 year. The VA home loan program is designed to help eligible veterans and their families obtain housing for their own occupancy. The requirement for owner occupancy is an important aspect of VA home loans. So you can't get a VA home loan just to rent it out. You have to owner occupy the property for 1 year. Like I just mentioned, the owner occupancy rule, there are exceptions. There's no exceptions within that first year. Then after that first year, I can give you an example. So let's say you initially occupy the property as your primary residence. After that year, you need to move due to military orders or other qualifying reasons. You can retain the property and obtain a new primary residence using your VA home loan benefits. So yes, this is how people use the VA home loan to invest in owning multiple doors and having multiple doors in their rental portfolios. And I haven't even got to the good part where you can buy multi-unit, multi-family houses and you can house hack using the VA home loan as well. But we're going to dive into that here pretty soon. So let's keep going. All right, I'm getting you all amped up, but let's pause right here. So question, how much house can you buy with your VA entitlement? So I have a link that I can provide and send out to you that has a list of every county in the United States, its territories, and certain overseas locations. It illustrates, it tells you how much money you can use the VA home loan for in that specific county. They call it the VA county loan limits, and they all differ. They all differ, but they're all the same. So let me explain. The major cities, let's say Los Angeles, San Diego, New York, the major cities, they have a higher county loan limit naturally due to the city and the location, right? But then when you go to these smaller sort of towns where, around bases or around counties, they tend to be lower in the entitlement and they tend to be the same. So that's where they all differ, but they're all the same. So let me give you an example. In Bexar County, if you have a VA home loan right now and your house, let's say you bought it for $300,000 in Bexar County, you can buy another property up to $806,200. The difference. So the difference of that is $506,200. So you can buy another property or properties that can fit within that budget and stay under the Bexar County loan limit. And this goes to every county in America. If you're in San Diego, I believe they hiked it up now to $1.1 million. So if you have a house out in the San Diego County using the VA, what you do is you take that county loan limit of 1.1 million. I have a link so you can actually get the numbers. You take that amount, you subtract it from what you're already using, and then the difference is what you can afford as a new primary residence. Now, if you have not used your VA home loan entitlement at all, then there is technically no limit. You just have to be able to afford the monthly payments. That's the catch. And the loan limits, the county loan limits, they vary from year to year. So they just increased it as of January of 2025. So they just increased it based on the changes in the trends of the housing market. So again, I have a link to all of the county loan limits. You can get them from me. Just shoot me an email or reach out to me and I can send them over to you. And also a VA approved lender in your specific area should have them. If they don't, then of course you have me as your resource. All right, here we go. Investment tips using the VA home loan. So what can be financed and what are some of the other VA programs? So it's important to note before we dive in, it's important to note that the property must meet the VA's minimum property requirements. They call them MPRs. So the MPRs, they ensure that the property is safe, sound, and in good condition. That Air Force treatment. The MPRs, they cover aspects such as the structural integrity, safety, and adequate living conditions. Okay, so let's put it all together up until now. Using the VA home loan, you can buy a single family home, you can buy a condo, you can buy a manufactured home, you can buy a multi-unit up to 4, a quad. You can buy a new build property, you can buy a townhome. The only thing I haven't seen just yet are those barn dominiums. If you guys seen those on social medias, that's one thing I have not seen yet, and I'm sure that's about to change here soon. And so what you can do, you can finance all of these property types with no money down, no PMI, nothing of the sort. You can finance more than one property using the VA home loan. So other VA programs. So let's say you want to refinance your loan. You can do that. VA has a program where you can refinance and get a lower interest rate. There's a VA renovation loan that you can use. So you can make upgrades, certain upgrades to your home using the VA. Then there's also a VA construction loan. So you can actually buy pieces of land and you can actually build a home from scratch, all wrapped up into another VA program that's out there that you can use. All right. So as we get closer to wrapping it up, let's go back to the basics. Okay. The VA home loan process. So now that you got some information and you wrote down some notes, let's step through this one at a time. So first thing you want to do, you want to determine eligibility for a VA home loan by meeting those specific service requirements set by the Department of Veteran Affairs. So of course, verifying your length and time of military service. Next thing you want to do is you want to obtain a certificate obtain your certificate of eligibility. So apply for a certificate of eligibility from the VA. The COE confirms your eligibility for the home loan program and is required by lenders to process your loan application. So if you want to do this, you have to have it on hand and submit it over to a VA approved lender. So again, there's steps to get it. If you are having a little bit of trouble, I actually have another video you can watch and I walk you through the entire process, how to get it step by step. I screen share and everything. All right. So once you have your documents in order, you have that COE, you determine your eligibility, you want to find a VA approved lender. So research them. There's a ton of them out there. Vet, the ones you really like and go from there. So these lenders are experienced in handling VA loans, can guide you through the entire process and let you know everything that you need to do to make it such a smooth transaction. So I've had some people come up to me and tell me how problematic their process was because they didn't know about certain inspections. They didn't know about certain documents to have. They were left in the dark by their realtor and the loan officer. So make sure to vet your lenders that you want to work with. If you need help finding some good ones, let me know. I can also point you in the right direction in that. After you found the lender you want to roll with, the first thing they're probably going to do is they're going to pre-qualify you. If not online, I'm sure when you apply, they probably have like a pre-qualification thing, and then a loan officer will reach out to you. But we want to get started on that. So you want to get pre-qualified, and then as you're submitting all your documents, it's going to turn into a pre-approval. So contact that lender to get pre-qualified for a VA home loan. They'll assess your situation. Every situation is different. There's a thing out there that not too many people talk about. It's called lender overlays. When people ask, like, what's the credit score I need? It just depends. So some lenders take credit scores at 600. Some take credit scores at 620. Some take credit scores at 580. Some take credit scores 560. Every credit score is different. Every credit has a story behind it. That's the thing they call lender overlays. So don't be discouraged if one lender says no, because there's probably a lender out there that can help you. I have a few of those lenders that operate in different credit score ranges. So again, I'm just here as a resource. Reach out if you need it. Included in that credit score look, that financial situation that these lenders look at, they want to include your income, how much money you make, your DTI, your debt to income ratio, how long you've been working at that position or in that field. Sometimes I was in the contracting world as a cyber analyst. For people that know about cyber analysts or intelligence and things like that, in the contracting world, I mean, their contracts come out and get awarded almost like every month. So sometimes people jump from contract or job to job or employer to employer. But if you have been doing that same job for the past 2 years, then that's fine. Step number 6, which is find a home and then ultimately make an offer. So once you're pre-approved, you've been stamped to go after homes in a certain price range up to whatever you're pre-approved for. That's when you want to work with the realtor to find a suitable home that meets your needs and your budget. And when you find that home, make sure to make that offer. So we're not necessarily done. So after you make that offer, it's the VA appraisal, it's the home inspection, and the termite inspection time. So after the seller accepts your offer, the property will need to undergo a VA appraisal to determine its value and ensure it meets the VA's minimum property requirements, the MPRs we talked about earlier. And you may also choose to have a home inspection. Home inspections are not mandatory, but highly, highly, highly recommended. They're conducted to identify any potential issues within the property. And you also get an option period. So if you do find something that you don't like or you want the seller to fix, you have whatever amount of time allotted in that option period to have the seller fix it before you buy it. Also included in the home inspection, you need to order a termite inspection. So the VA mandates a termite inspection. Your realtor should know that. That's very important. That's mandatory, mandatory, mandatory. Then after all of the inspections are done, this is when all that documentation goes into the loan processing and underwriting stage. So you submit everything that you need to. Your lender should be talking with you one-on-one, including the realtor, but the lender should be talking to you directly, saying what documents they need for underwriting. And this is also the time that you do not buy that new couch. You do not buy that new fridge. You do not buy that new car to go with your home. You don't do anything. Put all your credit cards up and don't touch it until the day of, until you're handed your keys. Don't touch your credit cards at all. So once you get to closing, if the loan is approved, a lot of lenders, they send out emails, congratulating you on a successful process, closing. They'll have hands cheering, congratulations, everything like that. And at closing is where you'll sign the final loan documents and officially become the owner of that property. So it's important to note that the specific details and timeline can vary depending on various factors, such as the complexity of the transaction and also the efficiency of communication between parties. Luckily for me, I'm always all-inclusive and transparent. So if I'm representing you, you're going to hear from me every step of the way, everything I hear. And because I've been around for a minute, I know what to expect. So I can also help the lender out as well. So nothing really falls through the cracks with me. So we made it to the end. So it's important to note that while VA loans offer numerous benefits, You, the borrower, should carefully consider your financial situation and compare loan options to ensure that you are choosing the best mortgage solution for your needs, not anybody else's, for your needs. And also, before I let you go, I want to leave you with this. Essentially, you have the power and the entitlement to purchase a home, your primary residence, zero money down. You can also build a home by financing the entire construction of it using the VA benefits. You can refinance an existing loan. It doesn't matter if you currently have a VA loan or a non-VA loan. You can still refinance, and you can make home improvements. The VA renovation loan can be used to fund certain repairs. One example is through the VA's Energy Efficient Mortgage Program, the EEM, which allows you as the borrower to finance energy efficient upgrades to your home. So installing solar panels or upgrading insulation. So there's multiple programs out there that reside in the realm of VA home loans. I have other videos that you can look at to kind of cross-reference and to use it to your benefit as a resource. Once again, I want to thank you all for joining in today for this informative VA home loan webinar. We hope you found this session valuable and gained some insight into the benefits and the process of obtaining a VA home loan. Additionally, we also understand that every situation is unique and you may have specific questions or require personalized assistance. So we are here to help, whether you need guidance on the eligibility criteria, understanding loans, you would like for me to represent you in a transaction, or if you would like me to refer you out to another realtor that operates just like I do, I'm here and able to assist you. Don't hesitate to contact me for any information, clarification, or to discuss your specific needs. So thank you once again for attending, and we look forward to connecting with you.